Hello, everyone. Welcome to another podcast of Healthgevity. Today, we are going to have an amazing trip with our Healthgevity spaceship to Germany and meet one of the most amazing scientists in the field of medicine and also healthy longevity. Today, we are going to talk about longevity mindset, which is one of the most important pillars of Healthgevity system. So stay with us and let's dive into the conversation.
Let's delve into the journey of Dr. Roxana Mittler Mattica, a distinguished medical professional whose rich academic and clinical background paints a vivid picture of her dedication and passion. A scholar of human medicine and industrial management, Dr. Mittler Mattica's intellectual prowess extends across a diverse spectrum of disciplines. Her relentless pursuit of excellence culminated in achieving board certification as a neurosurgeon, a testament to her unwavering commitment to medicine. Her expertise doesn't stop there. Dr. Mittler Mattica's experience in radiology and neuroradiology has honed her skills, preparing her to tackle some of the most complex medical challenges. Beyond her clinical responsibilities, Dr. Mittler Mattica plays an instrumental role as a medical advisor for the German National Association for the Protection of Critical Infrastructures. Her keen insights and nuanced understanding of medical systems contribute to the protection of vital infrastructure. She also lends her expertise to the European Commission, playing a critical role in evaluating disruptive medical research projects. Her contributions are shaping the future of medicine, emphasizing her commitment to advancing medical knowledge. Despite her demanding professional roles, Dr. Mittler Mattica is also a dedicated mother of 3 children. Her ability to balance personal and professional responsibilities stands testament to her resilience and determination. Dr. Mittler Mattica envisions a shift from reactive sick care to proactive healthcare. She believes in leveraging the power of data and technology to usher in a new era of medical advancement. In the vision of Dr. Roxana Mittler Mattica, the future of medicine is a landscape ripe for innovation, where data and technology are leveraged to extend health span and promote healthy longevity. It is a future where medicine is not just about treating illness, but also about enhancing and extending life.
Today, we are going to talk about this topic, which is one of the most important pillars of Healthgevity system, longevity mindset. So without further ado, let's meet Dr. Roxana Mittler Mattica and ask the first question that why you actually are interested in the field of longevity mindset and what have you done in this field?
Thank you, Dana. Yes, I would try to put it very short, and it's reduced to the frustrating feeling that we are running against time to catch the diseases after they're already very advanced. And I would like to switch the whole healthcare and medicine thinking towards proactive, preventative care. And this is for me more or less synonym with healthy longevity. So this is my interest in longevity.
That's amazing. Well, actually, probably you have read a little bit about what I'm interested in and what I'm doing. And let me a little bit tell you about why I have started actually this movement. Since 15 years ago, I was really got interested in longevity, health, immortality even. But what I found out that we really do not have a system that we can rely on so that I don't say 100%, but at least 80, 90% of the knowledge is there. So, because, nowadays everybody's talking about longevity, about health and all this topic, but we hear different sources and we don't know, for example, if sleep is more important than exercise, than nutrition or stress or social connection or all of the things. So I really decided we need to have a system so that people, when they start to learn about longevity, they have like a alphabet, right, or the basic or foundation, because if not, maybe they get confused that what to do in their life. So that's why I've started this Healthgevity pillars. And interestingly enough is that I read your article about it, and it was very interesting that at the same time we are thinking about it, even though in different ways, but very, very similar to each other. So I want to start with this, that how, scientifically speaking, let's say, our mindset overall can really affect our health and longevity from the, maybe, I don't know, neuroscience point of view.
It does affect our longevity, our overall health, and there are several mechanisms um, through which stress, for instance, and chronic stress influences our well-being.
Right.
And maybe not so well known is the concept of allostatic load. We have this flight or fight stress response, which is very well known, I think, also among physicians. But we have also this allostatic load, and this is the stress that accumulates during our lifetime. And this is interesting because one of the effects of this allostatic load is that within the prefrontal cortex, chronic stress and the changes cause debranching and the shrinking of dendrites, which causes cognitive rigidity. But on the other hand, at the same time, in the orbitofrontal cortex, you have dendrites that are growing, so they expand, and this causes an increased vigilance, a state of vigilance. So it's very complex, it's very interesting.
Let's get into the beginning, actually, which is about the health or longevity literacy, and talk about the children, how actually we can teach them about it. Because, changing the health field cannot happen during just few years, right? It needs generation. And I think the most important part actually is the children, and we have to start from education because it's base of everything, right? So tell me your idea about it, that what we can do actually to teach children how to do that, and how it can help them to have a really healthy and long life.
Yes, Dana, I think this is very important. And I think it is more easy to build from the beginning a healthy habit than to change habits later on.
Yes.
And we have some generations that need to change the habits right now. This is one challenge. But we have the children. I'm also a mother of 3 little children, so I'm personally involved in this. And we have these new generations that have to grow up with this healthy longevity mindset,
Right.
where they don't feel that they give up something they love just in order to promote their health. Where when they find fun and coolness in something else than getting drunk, for instance.
Right. Yeah,
This
exactly.
is this is a very important point.
Actually, we have always heard that prevention is better than treatment or cure, let's say. And I think this is the first step, that we start the mindset of longevity, right, from our children, that they have to think about a little bit, let's say, further than maybe few months or few years, right? Because aging itself, it's not a process that can happen very quickly, right? It's for years and years, accumulates a lot of different factors, and then we see the result of it. So I think it's a kind of culture, right? We have to create this culture among ourselves, families and friends, and to encourage people who really care about their health and longevity. Unfortunately, nowadays a lot of food industry brands, they are, let's say, just advertising for those things that are killing us, right? But they somehow, they connect it with happiness. For example, the drink that we drink, you see the advertisement that when we drink it, we get energy, we are happy with friends, which is totally a big lie, right? So I really want to ask you this question, that how we can somehow rise this awareness that people really should focus on their health. What do you think about this? How, what is the, let's say, practical way that we can rise this awareness among families and friends to take care about their health and longevity?
Yes, I start, for instance, by talking openly with my children about it. They already know, even though they are 6 and 4 year old, that health is something that we have to do, is something that we actively have to promote for ourselves. We have to actively stay healthy. That's one very important point. On the other hand, we also talked about dying, getting old and dying. They already understood that the grandma and grandpa are having less time than us on earth to spend together, and that it's worthy fighting for more time to spend together, for instance. That is very impactful for the children. And basically, this is all what most of us want: more time to do the things that we like and we love.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is one point. The second point that I want to emphasize is we are living nowadays in a culture that says that being busy or overworking is the thing to do. That's a status symbol. So if you're saying, "Oh no, I need to sleep right now, and I won't finish my project today. I will finish it tomorrow," you are like excluded from this high performance or top performance society, let's call it so. So if we promote unhealthy lifestyles, we associate them with success, with a fulfilling life, but it's not the case. When you reach your title, your position, you look down or around and you find yourself sick, maybe anxious and alone. And after some years, it's inevitable that you will get also or your chronic diseases.
Unfortunately, because I've been working with a lot of entrepreneurs and busy people, businessmen. Business comes from the word busy, right? Unfortunately, always when I talk to them to spend some time on their health, like doing exercise, more sleep, they say, "Yeah, we don't have time. We are busy. We are busy." And this is the most terrible thing that, unfortunately, in a part of my life, I was like this. But then I found out, for example, let me tell you this one, that the worst thing that I've done in my life, right? Something to really harm my body was sleeping 4 hours a night, which is terrible. And I thought that, okay, sleep actually, that goes back to like 20 years ago when I was very, very young, like 20, all right? And I thought that I don't have enough time to do a lot of things. So 4 hours, 3 hours is enough. And for years did that. I didn't notice that how it can change my life. That later I will talk about it. The only thing that has endangered my health is lack of sleep. But what I want to say is that the businessmen, entrepreneurs, busy people who are listening to this podcast, they have to pay attention that they will pay much more later because of not sleeping enough, not doing exercise, and every time, Dr. Roxana, I say that those hours that we spend in hospital when we are old are those hours who we didn't exercise when we were young. So if every day we spend 1 hour exercising, we can actually avoid those hours in the age of 60, 70, 80 in hospital, just confronting a lot of aging diseases. So I totally agree with you that this can totally ruin a person's life, even though maybe they have a lot of success from social view, actually. So let's get into a little bit more, actually, which is related to this topic about the stress, right? Because I think we are really living in a stressful environment nowadays. So tell me, what is the role of actually cortisol as we call it stress hormone, but I really want to ask you, is it just a stress hormone or no? And how it can affect our brain, and also maybe, I don't know if there is a correlation between it with aging diseases, how it can affect our life, our brain, and our health and longevity.
Cortisol is the well-known stress hormone. The adrenaline is also a well-known stress hormone, but chronic stress is more associated with cortisol, and
Right.
cortisol has the potential to disbalance the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. And this is a very, very complex topic. I'm not an endocrinologist, but still the damage is produced by elevated cortisol level shrink the hippocampus in the brain.
Right.
And yeah, that's basically what we've seen, what we know. That's the evidence.
Right. Well, actually, you know that we need a little bit of stress, right? A little bit of stress is good for us, like mental stress or physical. For example, when we go to the gym, we put more pressure on our muscle that it can actually stand, right? But it's a totally measured stress, right? And it can actually grow. The sentence that says, "What doesn't kill me makes me stronger." It's a kind of, let's say, stress that we have in our life. But when it's more than it's needed or more than our body can stand, actually it breaks down our body, right? So I want to ask you about, it's a maybe personal question. What do you do in your daily life to avoid the stresses, or at least if you cannot avoid, how to control it? How would you deal with the daily stress in your life?
Anna, you will laugh, but I prioritize sleep. That's the first thing that I do in my life.
Wow.
And I can cope with stressful situation way better when I have my 8 hours of sleep. That's
Right.
one point. And I exercise. Of course, each of us is different and finds balance in something else. Some people may want to draw or to paint just to release the stress within. I, for instance, do a lot of sports. And the third thing that I like, and it's like meditation or going to the psychologist for me, it's driving. I just get in the car and drive for 1 hour.
Wow, that's great. Amazing. Talking of sleep, actually, as you have seen the 12 pillars of Healthgevity that I have tried to put it together at least as a foundation for, to start. Exactly the priority or number one is sleep for me, because it's the base of our health and longevity. We can live for days and even months without eating food, right? We can live like weeks maybe without even drinking water, right? Or without doing exercise. But definitely after a week or two of not sleeping, whole body breaks down. And even just few hours of sleep deficiency can totally impact our days and nights, right? Our efficiency definitely will decrease. So for me nowadays, actually, yeah, definitely sleep is the most important thing. So can I ask that, do you have like any devices like the ring or watch to measure your sleep, to see that your deep sleep, your REM sleep, and your score? Have you done any progress in this?
Used a smartwatch. Indeed, I don't have a ring yet. And for me, in my actual life phase with three little children, it's more important to get the sleep no matter what quality. That's the phase I am in. But of course, depending on each person's life situation, a ring or a smartwatch is crucial to understand how you sleep, if you sleep, if your sleep quality is right, and to see which interventions actually result in a improvement of your sleep quality. And Dana, it's very interesting because if you would ask me to choose three pillars of longevity, I would also start with sleep. You
Yeah,
cannot
sure.
exercise correctly without having proper sleep. Before you
Exactly.
cannot have a high cognitive function without sleep. You cannot have the right mindset if you are tired and need sleep, and so on. Even the social relationships that are so crucial, you cannot engage in quality social relationship being a sleepless zombie. So
Right.
yes, I would also
Exactly.
start with sleep.
Definitely. That's
um,
great. So let's ask you another question, because you are more engaged in some scientific studies. So have you seen any scientific studies, let's say, that suggest a link between positive mindset and reduced risk of chronic diseases, like heart attack and diabetes and this kind of disease, that it's a kind of, side effect of, we can say aging. So is there any study have been done about this field that really shows that there is a connection between these two?
Well, we have this mental resilience concept, and we know that mindset is very important to that. And this is something that lowers the intensity of the stress response on the long term. I wouldn't know a study that is really solid and reproductive on this topic, but as a physician, I can tell you that we are all very interested in this placebo effect. And I don't believe it's that mysterious at all. And many physicians know that it's not a mystery, it's not magic. Um, it's it's composed of many elements. One is the body's natural ability to heal,
Right.
then the patient mindset, and the social context. And this is where the physician also intervenes, because having the right attitude towards the patient, you enhance these capabilities.
Yeah, right.
So,
Well,
and I think this placebo effect should be more studied in a scientific way.
okay. Actually, talking about this placebo effect, I was listening to Dr. Andrew Uberman podcast just lately talking about placebo effect, which, okay, everybody knows that. Let's say we have two groups of studies. We give them kind of the sugar pill and tell them that this is a really effective pill. And then we study the effects of that, the consequences, how it can change based on their mindset. But he talks about belief effect, which is stronger than placebo effect, because in placebo effect, you're just telling them something like an information, right? It's not a like a belief. So I probably we can talk a little bit more about it. What happens if we have a stronger idea and belief about something, about how our mindset can regulate our body, can help our body to be healthier if we really believe in what we are doing or the way that we think, how much the effect can be greater in your idea? Because they talk about some studies even that when you tell the patients in a different way than just like a placebo effect, that show them some studies and make them to believe that this really is going to change their life, we see a greater impact on their results.
Yes, the belief effect is something that needs to be trained, and it needs to be trained on both sides, from the
Right.
patient side, and then we get back to this health literacy and mindset training in early childhood, maybe,
Mhm.
or it's never too late to start doing that. And on the other side, you have to train the physician or the specialist or the professional providing this belief environment. So I don't think that the patient can start believing in his healing capabilities on his health. And I think that's where the physician's role is very, very important. And by the way, I've never seen spectacular healing uh, of patients in mental health issue patients or in negative mindset patients. So it's indirectly a confirmation that you have to have a positive mindset to have the possibility to have this spectacular healing process. So to recover after a surgery or after a traumatic brain injury, for instance.
Right. So let's talk about a little bit negative thinking, right? How it can actually have that negative effect on our body when we are negative about ourselves, about our life, the way that we live, all of the things, and we accept the stresses. We don't try to change the environment around us, or at least change our mindset. How this negative effect can impact our decision making, let's say mechanism every day, because when we have a positive mindset, definitely it can help to make better decisions, right? But a negative one at the same time, it can blind us toward positive things around us. So I don't know, maybe you have an experience or people around you. How do you think a negative effect overall can really affect on people's life and even health?
Scientifically, we know that the psychoneuroimmunological axis exists, and our immune system is weakened by negative thoughts. That's
Right.
more or less the science or the medicine behind. And then I would think about the concept of purpose. If you're negative, if you're not okay with yourself, then your feeling of purpose is also very weak, or maybe not existent. And
Mhm.
we know that purpose in life is a very strong pillar of longevity or healthy longevity.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think it's intertwined with this concept of purpose.
Yeah.